I know Chigs is in here recording or some shit.
No Chid Smooth in here, right? So whatever you say,
you know, Chig gonna have everything up there.
whatever you say, Chid's gonna be on YouTube with it, man. I like you.
Come on.
Parties to contracts are legally obligated to comply with the terms and conditions of the agreement. I'll repeat. I'll repeat. It says, parties to contracts are legally obligated to comply with the terms and conditions of the agreement. If a term or condition of a contract is breached, parties will face legal consequences. So, what does that mean? The documentation, hence the performance agreement that Monique provided you with, is a legally binding contract, which is the reason why, if you looked at the bottom of the contract, you saw initials on both sides, one from the promoter, one from our side. When he said this came from their company, it did, because the artist must have a standard contract she provides as a courtesy to the promoter, because they won't know what it is that they need in order to utilize her services for hire. We wanted to get that granular and specific because DL was comfortable speaking in generalities. And generalities allow things to be hidden, such as the truth.
You know how you keep watching our stories over and over and over again, and the only thing that changes are the faces because the stories remain the same? And if you want our babies to believe that a deal memo is anything close to a contract, what are you feeding us, DL? You know that's a deal memo. You can put anything you want to put in the deal memo. That's what you would like. And D.L. Hughley has yet to still show his signed contract. And this is something else that I want to address to us. When I see the comedians having these conversations, it makes my heart hurt for y'all, because it's making me understand how they are able to exploit, take advantage, use, misuse. I understand how it's able to be done, because when y'all start standing up and you're fighting against a sister that's saying you've got to treat us fairly. You're fighting against a sister that's saying, I earned that position as headliner. Didn't nobody give it to me? I earned that position. You got a sister that's saying, listen, I'm, as D.L. Hughley would say, oh, she just selfish and thinking about herself. Anybody that's selfish, D.L. Hughley, would not take a 13-year hit in their career. See, if I was selfish, I would have taken the $500,000 that Tyler Perry tried to offer.
To be quiet about it.
To be quiet and make it go away. If I was selfish, D.L. Hughley, I would have had the conversation privately. See, I know the moment I say it out loud, I know the ridicule is coming. I know it's coming full force, but you know what? I don't care.
And when they say, we don't like the way they do business, why is it they don't get specific about what it is that we've done? The problem that it's had with Monique, as with many black women, y'all not supposed to stand up for yourself. You're not supposed to stand up for yourself. If Tyler Perry says anything they ask me to do is what I do and he's a billionaire, well, who are you to stand up for yourself? See, we know we crazy. We crazy. Because everything that we're communicating goes, it is counterintuitive if you're trying to get the bag.
You know what, Daddy, though? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But if you're trying to get inner peace, because it's a lot of rich people out here, but they don't have inner peace. Everybody's mama, when they set out for Hollywood, say, don't forget us when you make it. I'm sorry, don't forget where you come from. That's what they say. Don't forget where you come from. Well, we come from a little place called Baltimore, Maryland. Little place called Baltimore, Maryland. But it's no different from Detroit. It's no different from Philly, D.C., Compton, Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. It's no different from Nebraska. It's no different from New York. Where the real people live, they can relate to what it is that we're saying. They appreciate the specificity, the specifics, the granular discussion that we're having. We are not going to talk to you in generalities. You can't ask us, do we have anything up our sleeve, because we came here wearing tank tops. Okay? We want to be transparent with you. I'm sitting next to a black woman who you want to call selfish, but y'all forget when he brought up Lee Daniels. See, Lee Daniels has a support team that tapped into that man's conscience, that made him say, let me go up on stage and give this woman an apology. I want my friend back, because I know, and if y'all listen to what he said afterwards, it's very important. He said, I got caught up essentially in the hoopla until I realized what was important. And it took an individual who had enough nuts, literally and figuratively, from the trans community named T.S. Madison, to have a real conversation with him. It took his family, his sisters, his people, black women that circled him and said, do right. Do what's right. And you know what? He was big enough as a man to do it. See, we don't fault anybody for making a mistake. The fault comes in when you know you made a mistake and you're not big enough to own what it is that you've done. And this black woman right here, because people have called her selfish, y'all wasn't there on the set when it was a white gentleman refusing to give Lee Daniels the light he was supposed to get. And he said, I'm not going to give Lee the light that he wants. And Monique pulled his card right there and brought Lee over and said, this man is messing with your life. Y'all wasn't there on the set of Almost Christmas when Will Packer was given direction over a black man named David Talbot, who wrote and directed Almost Christmas. And she said, hey, don't disrespect this, what?
Black man.
By giving directions as a producer over the director. If you don't believe us, ask the question. See, y'all weren't there when Monique was on the Parkers. And she said to the individual, because this is what makes her a problem. I need y'all to know she can be difficult. This is what makes her a problem. The individuals that you call extras, she calls background professionals. She had a problem that they were sitting around all day and water and lemonade was what they were given. And she said, why won't y'all give them some of the hot food that we eat? Because we ordering out and y'all ain't even eating. See, that is a problem. But who is it a problem for? Is it a problem for the people who are sitting there all day with lemon and water if they get hot food? Because they were there before
we get there.
Okay? And there?
After.
Or is it a problem for the powers that be? And you got to ask yourself, who is she having these challenges with? Is it the powers that be? Or is it the people in the support positions trying to uplift the show? And it's the powers that be. Now, if Tyler Perry, if Oprah Winfrey had the courage to do the same thing, Monique never would have been blackballed for 13 years because they would have said, we can't ask that sister to do anything for us for free when we don't have a contract for her to do anything with us.
Thank you, baby, because I want to address something.
Kick it.
And I want you black women to hear what this black man is saying. I gave Monique a chance. D.L. Hughley said he gave me a chance. Well, here will be the question. To do what? What did you give me a chance to do? You weren't the promoter. No monies came from you. Who are you that you would be giving me a chance? The arrogance that you could speak like that I gave her a chance. To do what, DL? And then if you're going to tell it, please don't mislead people. DL and I were scheduled to do another show together. I want us to address it, and I want y'all to do your homework. If you remember the Super Bowl show that happened in L.A., there was a time that D.L. Hughley was on that show. And then there was a time that he just wasn't.
But you were the what on that show?
Headliner. I was the headliner on that show. All these other times that he speaks about, that it never came across our desk. So stop trying to pull the wool over the community's eyes. And what I would ask of the community, what I would beg of us, stop being so quick to jump on the bus whichever way it goes down the street. Be brave enough to listen to what it really is, not your emotions, not what you, listen to the facts of what it is. Go back and listen to what I said. I feel sorry for your family. I feel sorry for your wife. Listen to what I said. Listen to what I said when that man said, would your husband, or that woman said, would your husband rather sleep with these people? Ricky Smiley, would you be offended if someone said that about your loved ones? How about you, Roland Martin? Would you be offended if someone asked you that about your wife? How about you, Kim Whitley?
And he was also speaking in reference to wanting to give Monique a chance, and his people had warned him against it, as if he had some sort of prophecy seeing into the future ability. Let's clarify why he felt that way.
Why did he feel that way?
See, there was a show that he was doing on TV One called the D.L. Hughley Show.
Yes.
They reached out to me to ask if Monique would come on the show. I informed them, per her statement to me, that she would not be coming on the show.
Come on. Okay. Thank you. Okay. You got it, sweetness? Okay.
They then came back and asked, why? I said to Monique, would you like me to tell them? She said, please do. I expressed to them, Monique did not feel comfortable going on a show with an individual or supporting a man that she thought was a friend that would blindside her with the question that was ultimately putting our people down. So it was at that moment that DL knew there was a problem between Monique, but if you notice, he never made mention about that.
Why not?
See, we get into the specifics because we don't have anything to hide.
I'm sorry, Daddy. The way D.L. Hughley is playing it is as if I just came from out of left field and just jumped on this man. No, D.L. See, what you can't erase are the interviews. You can't erase your words. Those are your words. You can't erase calling me mentally ill. You can't erase calling me all of these slick things, brother. That's what you said. And now you tender. Now you're trying to trick our community. So when you're talking about I turn people against you, no, DL, you do a fine, mighty job of that. What happens is when you get your own medicine, now we sit here. And I want to address something else, Daddy. When I listen to people like D.L. Hughley, and it says, this daddy thing, that's so weird. And I listen to some other people. Isn't it weird that they got us thinking love is weird to each other?
In addition to, they failed to mention that I referred to her as
mama. So we have bought into people having enough reverence and honor and respect to call each other mama and daddy, and they've made our community believe that that is weird? Really? So again, when I say I feel sorry for your family, I stand on what I said. Because anytime you're pouring into the community to show your spouse how much reverence you have for them, how much love and honor, and y'all have bought into it is weird. And I want to address it because I see some people writing down, oh, that go her husband again. That go, yes, there he goes again. God damn it. There he goes. Here he will stay. And because it looks so unfamiliar,
right,
to see a black man standing with his black wife, because it looks so unfamiliar to us, some of us sweet babies will try to pull it apart.
But when you get pulled up by Miss Sherilyn in the Whole Foods and she grab you by your arm and she pull up her girlfriend who easily was in her early 70s and they say, we proud of how you stay by that black woman. We proud of what y'all doing. We can take all the ridicule, all the insults from anyone. What we trying to imply and confirm for individuals that are together, utilize your mate, because the system, the business, the world is designed to divide us. Out of the individuals that you've seen talking about the poor treatment that women get in this industry, how come you never see their management with them?
How come?
And the reason is, it is not in the best interest of management to speak to the bias that is attached to their black artists. And the reason being, they are beholden to the studios. Because as Monique was told by a former manager of a larger agency, and I witnessed it, he said, it is in our best interest to be on the side of the studios. Why? Because artists come and go, but the studios still stay.
And when y'all are saying, Monique called DL, I have no reason to call DL Hughley. If DL Hughley would like to talk to me and my husband, there's an open invitation. We would love to come on the show. But see, I didn't open up the door to this. DL Hughley opened up the door. Now you want to run and hide and close it, and now you want to talk and act as if you have been victimized. That's where the shame should come in. That's where the shame and the embarrassment should come in. See, there's no interviews y'all can find of me speaking about DL Hughley. There's not one interview in the history of interviews that you will find me speaking ill about DL Hughley. Not one, but there are several out there of him speaking of me.
And others.
And you're right, Daddy, because it ain't personal. And others. You run your mouth. And now I would like to address the dog and your dad, because I always want to make sure I'm playing folks fairly. See, really read what was written in reference to you having a support dog. Really read it, my sweet babies. Don't let a person like DL Hughley cloud your head on what he wants you to know. The word